Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Market Monday. First off, I just wanted to remind you that the journal auction ends today at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. And if you'd like to bid on that or see what the journal looks like when it's complete, I'll put a link below. And if you go there, it'll explain all of the rules of the auction. So just kind of wanted to give you a heads up on that. And so today's Market Monday kit is from the Recycle Store, and it is a fabric fibers kit. So these are different fabrics and fibers that come from the Recycle Store that they get from different companies. So we'll get started. There are a couple of things here. Let's see, turn it this way. There are a couple things here that I had from a previous fabrics kit, and I had enough left over to put one in each of these kits. So to start with, there is this piece of lace that has the 4 little squares to it. So you could leave that whole, or you could cut it into 4 pieces. And then I also had some black burlap out, so I thought a square of that would be nice. And then a square of muslin. So those are not from the Recycle Store, but I put those in the kit. Now these are all from the Recycle Store, and the fabric bits and stuff, a lot of them will be different. Like each one of them has a square of this type of fabric, and it's kind of like a knitted type fabric or something. And each one of these will be a different pattern, different color. So there'll be 1 square of this, and these are about 6 by 7 1/4. So they might make a cute little journal cover for a small pocket journal, or they could be used for so many different things. Then there will be a square of like faux leather. I think they call faux leather like naugahyde or something. But there will be a piece of this, and they're approximately 8 1/4 by 7 1/4. So that's a nice size piece of that. And then we get into the bits and bobs. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, there's a hair on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are, I think, 14. 1, 2, 3. Yep. There are 14 of these circles, and these are kind of like cotton in the middle, and then they have a paperish type fabric on here, and then just a real thin kind of gauzy fabric or something on the top. Now, these are good like to stuff things with, and what I did, what I'm working on with mine is I went ahead and I put it inside a piece of fabric. So it makes a really nice puff to a piece of work, and you can sew right through it. I got to thinking after I started this that I should have maybe just embroidered the flower and then put my 2 pieces of fabric together with that puffy in the middle, so that all of these stitches wouldn't show. And then when you could quilt around the outside of the flower. And quilting is just your little small straight stitches. And then what they do is they make things puff up like that if you have a stuffing in the middle. And so you just use those small stitches all the way around following your outline, and it gives you that puff. And then if I hadn't done this embroidery on the back, when you turned it over, you would have that outline quilted on the back of your project. So my mom used to be a quilter and do quilts, and I always kind of thought the back was as cool as the front. So, but that's what you can use. That's what you can use these little things for. You could use them for anything you wanted. You could even maybe use them to like spread ink or something. And so then there will be 2 bits of yarn fiber, and this is just, it's cut off here, so it just goes up and comes back down. So the length of it is going to be approximately maybe 5 inches when you take it out of this little tube. But don't forget to keep this tube. And if you, the tube is really cool. If you do jelly plates, that's a really cool tube to use on your jelly plate as texture. So there will be 2 of those, and again, they will be different colors in each kit. This one has a thin fiber and a yarn kind of fiber. And again, that it may be that there's one of each in each kit. There might be 2 yarns, 2 thins. It's just going to be what it is. So then each one of them has 3 little braided bits. So you can cut them apart or use them together. And they do have like some glue or paper or something on the back. I did not take the time to sit and pick all of that off. Just because time-wise, just even putting the kits together takes a while. But there will be 3. And again, they'll all be different. So there will be 3 of those. And then there will be 3 pieces of trim. And these are... That's like 2 1/4. That one's 2 3/4. The longer one is 3 3.5. But they'll be different sizes. They might be longer, shorter, but they're all little trim bits that you can use to put on any type of a project. And each one of them, there'll be 3 different pieces. And again, they may have the paper and the glue and stuff on the back. I think that they ripped these out of books and then just put them in the bins. And so there'll be 3 pieces of trim. Small pieces of trim. There will be a couple pieces of leather, one in black and one in gray. This is actual leather, and they're going to be different sizes, different shapes. But I like to use them. I make earrings out of them. I die cut like feathers out of them, and then put them on an earring hook. So, but there'll be 2 pieces of that. There will be 3, 6, 9, 18, 27 of these. And these are little foam circles. And again, you can use them for whatever you would like to use them for. They're just probably about 1/4 of an inch thick. And they are about 1.5 inches across. So there will be 27 of those. And what I've been playing with these is, get some of that air out of there. I made a yo-yo and put it inside the yo-yo, so it gives it that big puff. And I think that they're really quite cool. And then I could have put a little piece of fabric in there so you couldn't see the black. I think I'm going to put a piece of bling in this one because I'm going to use this on a project. Or you could even just put a little bit of paint in there, a color that's going to match so you don't see it. Or pull your yo-yo completely tight so that you don't see it. I like to have a hole in the middle of my yo-yos. So, and usually they do have a hole in the middle. But I think that they're really cool to puff that up and just give it some dimension. And it's really soft. So you can use that for that or something else. There will be 21 pieces of cording type trim. And what I did was, how I make these kits up is I just they come, in a big bag, just, put as much in as I can get into a bag. And then when I get home, I just separate it into, I wound up with 7 kits this week instead of 5. But I just divide it by however many kits I'm going to have. So, there'll be 21 pieces of this. And I tried to, what I do is I do kind of separate them in piles when I get them, like by length and by like thickness and that type of thing. So like all of them, I think, have 2 of these little, like little double cordings like that, and then they all have about the same amount of these skinnier cordings and then fatter cordings, shorter cordings, and longer cordings. So I try and, they won't be the same colors and they won't be exactly the same, but I try and make them so that each of the kits has the same kind of variety in them, even though it's not necessarily the same color or the same pattern. Like this one's got a little, I liked these ones. This one has like a fuzzy bit that goes through there. So, but there will be 21 of those. And then there will be 23 bits of thread. And the threads are all different. They're wrapped on these little cards. And there's different types of thread. And again, I do the same thing. I kind of split them up by color and then try and make sure that they all have, like, then just divide up the blues and then the tans and the browns and that type of thing till they're all gone. But like this one is just almost like a regular type thread, maybe a little heavier than regular thread. in just regular brown. And then this one is very thin, and this one has a sheen to it. Excuse me. So there will be 23 of those. And then there will just be a couple of little stacks of these white squares. I love these. I love to stamp on these and then color them. It's kind of like a thin denim type material. And it is 1 3/4 inches. So there will be some of those. And then we have these little cards. They'll all have, like there's 5 of these black ones. And these are about 3 1/4 by not quite 3 1/2. And these are really cool. What I usually do with these is I cover the top and I cover the back, but the inside is plain. And so then I use the inside to write on with white marker. And a lot of times I'll cut the corners off and make them into little tags. But I really like to do that. If you don't have a white marker, you can always just cut a piece of paper, maybe a little smaller than the black, so you've got a black edging on it that you can put in there to write on. And then they've got the fabrics on the top. Again, all the fabrics will be different. Then there was 1 of each of this size white. So you've got white in the center of this one. And again, you cover the front tab and the back. They each have 1 of these. I thought these were really cool. It's almost, this is kind of like a vinyl or something. It's a little bit squishy, and they're all shiny, again, all different colors, but these I thought were really cool. There was 1 left over, I think, and I'm going to take it off of the card and see what I can do with it, just because I thought it was really awesome bit of fabric there. And then there is 1 of these white ones. So that's white on the inside. And it's got the markings on the back. So there'll be 1 of those. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There'll be 7 of the tan. And I'm just looking to make sure that they don't have writing on the inside, just so that you know. Because once in a great while, some of them do have like writing in this area, but these ones do not. So, and again, I split these up into just trying to get different ones with patterns, some that were more plain, so that they all had a nice variety in them. And then there are 4 of the gray. And again, they're clear in the center, and then they have the writing on the back. And so those will be a mix of 4 of those. So, but I find these really fun to play with for different things, but they're kind of neat because they've already got that like fabric flip on them to use, you know, in a journal or something, or even on a piece of artwork where, you know, you want somebody to be able to touch the artwork and different things where they can pick that up and look underneath, that type of thing. So that is what is in this kit. And if you are interested, the kit is $20, US only, because it's too much to ship overseas. And I do, or out of country, I should say. The shipping is included in the $20. And there are over 100 bits in this package, by far, I think. But if you're interested, my email will be below. Send me an email to let me know that you want a kit, and then I will let you know if I still have a kit available. If I do, then I ask you to pay with PayPal as promptly as you can, and but don't pay until I let you know that there's one left, so that way you know, you're not paying and I don't have any left. But thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.